Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, the DJI Mini 2, we had an update for it a week or two ago. I'm trying to remember which. Last week I tested it out. It's the 01.04.000, 4 zeros. Anyway, firmware update. And I had some problems with it. I had a couple of issues. I had an issue where the gimbal went wild on me, and I had some kind of weird FPV issues, and the gimbal just checked out. I landed it, restarted the drone a couple of times, and resolved that. I also had several instances while the drone was very close. It told me, it said RC signal interference was the warning that it gave me. Now, I never lost connection. I never lost FPV on the screen. However, I did get that warning a few times, and that is a little bit nerve-wracking. The other thing that happened to me is when I first took off, as I was yawing the drone around, it started moving around a little bit. Don't know what that was all about. Now, the thing that surprised me, I kind of thought it was kind of a windy day, and I kind of thought, well, could it be because of the wind or some other factors? But when I published that video, I had a lot of comments from people that had similar experiences, had gimbal issues, and had that RC signal interference warning. So it's not completely unknown, and one of the things that I've been told to do, my friend Lauren Donauer up in Calgary says that it's important to reformat your SD card after the update. So we're going to do that when we fire it up right now. We got a little bit of a breeze today, but it's pretty temperate. I'll post the UAV forecast on the screen right now. And again, I guess I didn't say I'm right at the school. It's not far from my house, so not very far away. So in any case, let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Hey, okay, so when I fired up the drone, it asked for a FlySafe database update, so I did that. So I also formatted the SD card on the app, and just for the fun of it, it didn't ask for it, but I did a compass calibration as well. So we're shooting in 4K 30. I've already looked at the safety menu, but we can look at it again here. Everything is showing okay. It's not asking for any updates. Got the max altitude set at 120, 35 meter return to home height. So battery info, yeah, looks like one of them's a little bit lower than the other one, but they're within parameters, so that's good. Let's we're shooting in 4K 30 frames per second in automatic, so and it's kind of a semi-cloudy day today, so let's go ahead and start recording. Kind of nice thing about days like today, and this is late in the evening, it's about 20 minutes to 6 mountain time. With a little bit of cloud cover, you can see your FPV screen real well and so forth. So anyway, just a little side note there. So let's go ahead and let's do an auto takeoff on the app here. So starting that right now. And nice stable we got a little bit of a drop there, but not too bad. It's giving us that altitude zone warning. I don't know why they bother with that, but anyway, it's something that DJI does. Let's pick it up just a little bit, and let's yacht around here and see if we can bring it in for a good look. And it is moving around now a little bit. See it moving around? Just look at that circular motion. That's your classic toilet bowling. Let's see if it settles down here a little bit. That's interesting. So that's kind of similar to what I saw last time. And I just did a compass calibration, and it's not asking for one. Let's give it a second here. Let's bring it in. So you can see it. It's moving around just a little. And now it's starting to settle down. So one of the things that I've always noticed with this drone, I don't know if you noticed when I first fired it up a little bit, and I'm going to stand next to the drone here, but the drone bucks a little bit first on startup, and it's done that ever since it was new. But then it settles down very quickly, just like it is now. I mean, look, it's calmed down now and it's in good shape. But that was kind of interesting what we saw there. And again, I had just done a compass cal, so I don't know. That kind of movement that we saw, that toilet bowl, that's kind of new since that update now. Whether they're related or not, I can't tell you. But kind of similar to what I got last time. And it's sinking a little bit. I'm going to bring it back up. Okay, my hands are off the sticks right now. Yeah, it's holding okay now. And that's a little bit of a breeze. You see it moving around, a little bit of wind. Okay, let's jag it back and forth. I always like to show you how that gimbal works, how it keeps the everything nice and steady. Okay, I'm going to drop that gimbal down a little bit, and we're going to do our manual droney right now. So, and we are in normal mode. Heck, I'm going to kick this baby up into sport mode. Let's see if we can do a fast one. So, reverse and up now. So yeah, I kind of, I didn't like that one. I was kind of going off at an angle there, and that could have been me cross-coupling. I didn't think I was, but I must have been. Let's try it again and see if I can get a little bit more straight. Bring it in a little closer. Okay, we're going to try that one more time. So reverse and up now, reverse and up. Yeah, this is better. Yeah, that had to be me messing with the sticks there. And it's fun doing it at higher speed. We're at about, what, 12 meters per second or so. Let's back this baby right up. Pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to pick up the camera a little bit. We got kind of where we're kind of close to the rule of thirds there. And let's just do a high-speed run over the top of us here. I got the stick all the way forward, 14 meters per second, 15 meters per second, 15 and a half meters per second, 16 meters per second, guys. This baby is screaming. It is 16.2. Boy, that's quick. That's about 35, 36 miles an hour. For a mini drone, I'm telling you, that's something. And you know, it was I wasn't looking at the FPV screen the whole time because I was looking up at the drone, but it looked like it was holding the camera pretty steady for what I saw. Okay, we're gonna go back the other way. Let's go over the top of Discovery School over here. Let me aim for that. And we're pretty high up there. We're 56 meters high. Let me see. Let me get it just right kind of in the center of the school here. And I'm going to go full tilt, full stick forward now. Yeah, and so there it dropped the gimbal. And it gives you that warning at those kind of speeds. So which is completely understandable. And still, you know, we were over 15 meters per second there for a second. Now it's slowing down a little bit. And off the sticks now. Okay, and brought it down to 0. Let's kind of get it over the center of the school here. We're going to go back into normal mode over the school. Let me pick up that gimbal. And you know, we've got I think the horizon is just a tad tilted. Just a little bit. But I always like this look at the Boise front because you can you see things in the foreground that are closer up. And in fact, let me back it up just a little bit. Or excuse me, I was dropping in altitude. Back it up just a little bit. I pulled down on the wrong stick. So you kind of see the roof of the school and the playground equipment there in the foreground, and in the medium distance there, you've got houses and some trees, and then off in the distance, you've got the mountains back there. So it gives you a pretty good idea of the camera. So let's see if we can zoom in. I'm going to hold down the function button and move the scroll wheel. And let's see if we can scroll into the full 2x zoom. Pretty cool that you can do that on this little mini drone. Let me yacht around. I mean, it looks darn good on FPV here, I can tell you that. And I'm going to pick it up and get us a look at the mountains here. So I'm going to pick up that gimbal just a little bit and see if we can get a look at the mountains. So pretty cool. Okay, let's go back to normal view. So I'm just going to tap on the screen to do that. Took us back to 1x. Drop the gimbal back down a little bit, and let's yacht around. The drone is performing fine. You know, any of those issues, signal issues, or anything I saw the other day appear to be long gone. So we're bringing the drone around. I think we ought to do our usual loop around the my favorite cell phone tower here. What do you think? Let's bring her on in. Put the head of that tower right on the center here. Okay, I'm going to go into cine mode just for the fun of it. Make it a little easier. Drop a little bit of altitude. And we can get closer than that. Let's see if we can get close up to this guy. Drop some more altitude. And I'm going to see if I can go to the left. I tend to favor doing orbits to the right, but let's go to the left this time. And see if I can keep this in the center and keep from cross coupling. And either moving the drone in or out. Not doing a bad job if I say so myself. Not quite in the center there. I'll tell you, hey, there again, you know, honestly all these drone companies are starting to really improve their flight controls. I flew the Hubsan Xeno Mini Pro this morning, and gosh, that little Hubsan drone, the flight controls have vastly improved on it compared to earlier Hubsan products. And of course DJI, and look at that, it looks to me like I did cross couple a little bit because I got further away from the cell phone tower as I completed that loop. Let's move in a little bit. And I'm going to see if I can kind of get right over the top of this guy. What do you say? I know I get a lot of people that give me a hard time about getting close to a cell phone tower. But I don't know. I've flown around this one a lot of times and have never seemed to have had any issues. So I'm just trying to bring it in here, slow but sure, and get a good look at the top of the tower. Let's see if we can get centered right up on it. I'm going to see if I can center right on the tower. And see that center pole right in the middle there? We're going to land on that sucker. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not that dumb. But let's do kind of a rotation and straight up. So let's do that right now. That's kind of a cool look, isn't it? And I'm trying to speed up the rotation as I go. And let's see if I can kick that camera up and do a little reveal as we go. And not that this isn't territory that you guys have seen 100 times before, but it's something, so we did that. I kind of like that neighborhood you see right there. Those are all big houses there. Okay, we're going to go look at something in my neighborhood here. They're doing some construction on our neighborhood park, and it is off in the distance there. I'm going to put the center of the drone, right on it right there. So that little park you see right dead center is a little neighborhood park in my neighborhood, and they're doing some construction. So let's go over there and take a look at it. Let's go back in normal mode, and let's go over and take a look at that guy. And see if we can take a look at the construction that they're doing. Drop the camera down as we go, and you can kind of see it there. We're way up here. We're about 87 meters, so we're not bothering anybody. And we're not going over the top of any people or anything, so we're good. So see that construction right there, that project? That is our pump house. It's, oops, yeah, it says, what did it say? It said something there about an altitude zone. Yeah, I'm going to go up and see what that says again. I don't know what that meant. Yeah, altitude zone 150 meters. We're not even close to that, so I don't know what that was about. Got that I got a little warning on screen. I don't know what it was. But anyway, so there was a little pump house here, and it's well water, and it is not for our drinking water, domestic water. It's for irrigation. It's for our yards. And there's some underground, because this was all agricultural property at one point. There were irrigation districts, and so as they developed it, they put all of that irrigation water underground. So what we have here is a combination of well water and irrigation water, and that's what feeds our yard water, or irrigation for our yards. Not drinking water for our houses, but for the yards. And they're building a big new pump house there. It was much smaller than that, so kind of an interesting thing. I have a feeling that it must have something to do with more than just our neighborhood, because it's the city that's doing it. So let's pick up the camera here and yaw around a little bit. Kind of give you a look at the neighborhood. LDS Church there off in the distance. Yeah, so this is kind of interesting. I can show you something else. This is kind of my cul-de-sac right here below us. And you will see right here that is a fire station. Yeah, right there. That I got myself confused a little bit. So right in the center of the screen there, that's a fire station. So you see that property behind it? I got a newsletter the other day from a developer. They're going to develop all that. So evidently that farmer sold his land, and there's going to be a bunch of houses going in there, and it's going to be a senior citizen community. So anyway, now that I'm 65, I guess I qualify, but yeah, they're going to put about 15 houses on that little piece of property, so I don't think so. I'll just stay where I'm at. Okay, so we are at about 25% battery here, and the drone has been just outstanding. Let's get back over the school property here. I think we should come down here. Let's drop some altitude, and maybe we can do some lower altitude flying here and bring the drone back to us. See if I can keep from hitting any trees as I do it. And you can see me off in the distance there, so let's look straight down, because I want to avoid any trees, but I'm going to lower some altitude here. And let's see if we can just come right down the street. In fact, I'm going to put it in cine mode to kind of increase my chances of doing this right. And let's pick up. We're already getting low battery, but I still think we can do this. Although, if it went into return to home and started to rise while it was under this canopy, that's probably not real smart. So let's not do that. I was going to go underneath the canopy there, but if it went into return to home while we were doing that, that probably wouldn't be good. Okay, I think right here, I think we can come down. What do you think? And let's miss all these branches. These little branches, you know, they're easy to hit. Yeah, I think we can get a lot lower here. What do you think? Down through the do not enter sign. And we're bringing that drone right next to me here. And I see the drone right beside me. Ooh, well, there's some branches right there. Let's miss those. Okay, let's bring this baby up and forward. And let's let it go into an auto return to home. Yeah, so it's going to do it here. We're just going to let it do it. And there it did. So it kicked itself around. And here it comes. And we're at 42 meters, so it won't go down. I think we had return to home set at 35 meters. There's our favorite cell phone tower, and I'm dropping the gimbal down as we come back. Unlike the Mavic 3, it stays at its specified height until it gets over the top, and then it comes straight down. As opposed to the Mavic 3 with, I think they call that intelligent return to home, it actually starts losing altitude. It uses its obstacle avoidance to avoid things and drops in altitude as it comes in, kind of landing like an airplane. We're down to 10%. That's why it's saying critical, but you also can see it's green there, so it knows it's close to home. We're a ways off of the original landing site, but it's good where it's at. It's not going to hurt it. We're just going to let it land. And it should pick up the camera here. There it did. And down it comes. Boom. Okay, so one of the things about this guy is you need to remember to stop recording. And I just see we've been recording for 19 minutes, so that's a pretty good flight. I mean, we were at full throttle for much of that. Let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay guys. The DJI Mini 2, I just think it's a great little piece of technology. Whatever issues I had after that last update, we didn't see them today. Other than when I first took off there, you saw a little bit of toilet bowling. Not sure what that was about. I had just done a compass calibration. You know, I know a lot of people tell me, well, you're on concrete, there's rebar in the concrete. Maybe, I don't know. I've flown a lot of drones here without problems like that, so I don't know what that is. But we definitely have to acknowledge it was there. And one of the things that this particular drone has done since it was brand new, when it first takes off, it bucks a little bit. Just a little bit of a buck. And it does that for about just the first maybe 30 seconds, if that. And then it calms down and it's fine. And we saw in this case, we saw that little bit of a rotation, but pretty quickly it settled down and it was fine. And then we had no more issues. So, you know, what is that related to? I don't know. I suppose potentially it could be an IMU issue. Maybe I should do an IMU calibration before I fly it next time. In fact, I'll probably do that. However, other than that, I think the drone performed flawlessly. And in fact, better than flawlessly, because at one point when we were flying it west, we had it well over 16 meters per second. Folks, for a little mini drone, that's doing pretty good. And you got to know that baby was pitched forward at a pretty good rate. And then as soon as we turned around to go the other way, and we didn't see any movement on the gimbal that time, but as soon as we went the other way and I hit the throttle, we saw that gimbal warning, and it definitely tilted the gimbal down. Now, why is that? So look at the front of the drone here, and it sticks out further than the camera. So when the drone pitches over and this camera is looking up, in order to avoid getting the top of the drone in the picture, it just pitches the gimbal down a little bit so you don't see that. That's why it does that. And that's why companies like Autel, they limit their drone to 30-degree pitch. And DJI had done that until the Mini 2, and they upped it to 40 degrees. So the drone pitches over a little more, and it gives it a little bit more of an ability to power through the wind and get to a higher speed. I like that. I'm fine with it. And in fact, if I'm really going to get some cinematic footage, you're just going to fly in normal mode, and you'll be fine, because it just won't go fast enough that it'll have to pitch that far forward. So other than that, what did we do? We went over the school. We did an orbit around my favorite cell phone tower. One of the shots that I'm kind of enjoying doing, I've done a few of them lately, is I got right over that cell phone tower with the camera looking straight down, push the drone up and had it rotate. That's kind of a cool effect, I think. And then you gradually lift the camera up and you get kind of a reveal. I think that's kind of a cool shot. And then I took you over to my subdivision over there and looked at the construction that they're doing in our little subdivision park. So they say that's going to be going on till August or so. So it'll be interesting. They're taking up a good portion of our little park, I can tell you that. So no gimbal issues, no connection issues, no warning about interference, RC interference, none of those kind of warnings. So it was all good. And so I kind of suspect that that was just a little bit of teething pain that I had right after I did that original update on that last flight. So anyway, I guess that's about it. I know this wasn't a terribly exciting flight, but I enjoyed myself, so I hope you guys did too. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I absolutely appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. The DJI Mini 2, until the DJI Mini 3 comes out, I'm saying this is still the king of the mini drones. All right, see you guys later.